Every night without thinking, you make a choice. You curl to your side, stretch onto your back, or nestle your face into the pillow in that timeless gesture of surrender. But have you ever wondered why? What draws your body toward one position over another? What wisdom guides these unconscious decisions that shape 8 hours of every day? This is your invitation to a different kind of bedtime story, one where knowledge flows like a gentle river, carrying you deeper into understanding while drawing you closer to sleep. We'll journey through time and across cultures, exploring the profound mystery of how humans have learned to rest. We'll listen to your body's quiet wisdom, discover the hidden benefits and gentle challenges of each sleeping position, and perhaps most beautifully, learn to trust the ancient intelligence that guides you toward the rest your being craves. So, settle in, dear listener. Dim the lights if you haven't already. Let your body find its natural position, whatever feels most welcoming in this moment. Tonight's journey is long and peaceful, designed to carry you gently towards sleep, while gifting you with understanding that will serve every night to come. But before we explore your body's unique language of rest, let us first travel backward through time to discover how this ancient conversation between human and sleep first began. In caves and clearings where our ancestors learned the very first lessons about finding peace in the darkness. Tonight, as you prepare to surrender to sleep, you're about to join a story that began long before cities rose from the earth, long before beds were crafted from wood and springs. This is the story of how we learned to sleep, a gentle journey through time that will carry you toward your own peaceful rest. 200,000 years ago, in the shadowed depths of Border Cave in South Africa, early humans were already understanding something beautiful about rest. They gathered grasses, not carelessly, but with the careful attention of creatures who knew that sleep meant survival. These weren't random piles scattered on cold stone. No, they were deliberate arrangements, layers upon layers of carefully selected vegetation, mixed with ash that served as both protection from insects and comfort for weary bodies. Can you feel the texture of those first beds beneath ancient skin? Rough, perhaps, but chosen with such intention. Even then, before language had words for comfort, our ancestors understood that the body deserved tenderness in its most vulnerable hours. But here's what's truly remarkable about those early sleepers. They didn't simply collapse when exhaustion took them. Research shows they stayed awake more than 3 hours after darkness fell, sleeping less than 7 hours each night, awakening naturally when the earth reached its coldest point. Their rest followed rhythms we've forgotten, flexible periods of sleep during both day and night, punctuated by frequent naps that allowed them to journey across vast continents, adapting to whatever daylight patterns they encountered. Listen closely now, and you might hear echoes of that ancient rhythm in your own body. The way drowsiness comes in waves, the natural desire to rest when afternoon light begins to soften. Perhaps you felt it too, that pull towards sleep that seems to rise from somewhere deeper than mere tiredness. Those early nights weren't spent in solitude, bodies curled together for warmth and protection, creating a symphony of synchronized breathing that drifted through caves and across open plains. In that communal darkness, sleep was never a lonely act. It was trust made manifest, vulnerability shared among the group. The soft whisper of conversation likely continued well into the night, voices gradually fading as consciousness dissolved into dreams. But why did they choose to curl onto their sides? knees drawn protectively upward. The answer lies written in the very architecture of survival. Without walls to guard their backs, without the safety we take for granted, early humans instinctively made themselves small. The fetal position, still adopted by countless sleepers today, carried within it the ancient memory of nights when survival meant becoming the smallest possible target while conserving precious body heat. This position served another purpose, one that whispers across millennia to touch our modern understanding. Side sleeping kept one ear pressed to the earth, alert to the footsteps of approaching danger, while the other remained tuned to the sounds of the night. Even in rest, they remained connected to the world around them, their bodies finding the delicate balance between recovery and vigilance. As the centuries flowed past like a slow river, different cultures began to discover their own relationships with sleep, each finding unique ways to honor the body's need for rest. Travel with me now to ancient Japan, where sleep became poetry. In the land of the rising sun, the art of rest took on philosophical depths that still whisper through modern homes. For over 1,000 years, the Japanese have practiced something beautiful, the daily ritual of the shikibuten. These traditional floor mattresses, spread each evening over tatami mats, transform sleep into a meditation on simplicity and connection with the earth. But the magic isn't just in the sleeping. It's in the gentle ceremony of preparation. Each night, hands smooth cotton, folding with precise movements passed down through generations. Each morning, the bedding is carefully stored away, transforming the bedroom back into living space. This daily dance speaks to something profound. Sleep as conscious transition, rest as sacred practice. The tatami mats themselves breathe with the seasons, expanding and contracting, creating a living foundation that provides natural insulation. Sleeping closer to the floor offers cooling relief during humid summers, while the firm support encourages spinal alignment that has contributed to generations of health and longevity. But perhaps you're wondering, what drew entire cultures to sleep so close to the earth? The answer lies in something your own body recognizes, even if your mind has forgotten. Far across the world, in the rainforests of Central and South America, another breakthrough in human comfort was taking shape. Indigenous peoples, surrounded by the moisture and creatures of the forest floor, discovered that sleep could float. The hammock, that gentle suspension between 2 points, transformed rest into a subtle dance with gravity itself. When the body settles into a properly hung hammock, something remarkable happens. The slight diagonal position it naturally creates allows the spine to find its most comfortable curve without the constraints of flat surfaces. The gentle rocking motion, almost imperceptible but constant, mimics the earliest sensations we knew in our mother's womb, triggering ancient neural pathways that promote deep, restorative sleep. Listen to your own heartbeat for a moment. Feel how it slows when you're truly at peace. Those hammock sleepers discovered that rhythm first, letting their bodies sway with the gentle pulse of the earth itself. Across continents and cultures, a pattern began to emerge, one that might surprise you. Whether on Japanese tatami, Middle Eastern carpets, or suspended in forest hammocks, humans consistently chose positions that honored the body's natural curves while providing just enough support to feel held, protected, safe. But what guides these choices? What whispers to us in the darkness, telling our bodies how to arrange themselves for the night's restoration? The answer lies in a conversation happening right now, beneath your conscious awareness. Your body is never truly at rest, even in the deepest sleep. Throughout each night, an ancient intelligence guides subtle adjustments. A turn of the hip, a shift of the shoulder, micro movements that maintain circulation and prevent pressure from building in any one place. This built-in protection system has evolved over millions of years, ensuring that healthy individuals never develop pressure sores, never suffer damage from staying too long in one position. It's strange, isn't it, how our bodies know what our minds forget, how an unconscious wisdom guides us through 8 hours of vulnerability, making adjustments we'll never remember to ensure we wake refreshed rather than stiff. The subconscious brain orchestrates this nightly ballet with exquisite precision. During light sleep, it permits frequent adjustments for comfort. During deep sleep, it holds us remarkably still, as if understanding that this phase of restoration requires absolute commitment to rest. But during REM sleep, when dreams paint their vivid stories across our consciousness, it temporarily paralyzes our major muscle groups, perhaps to prevent us from acting out those dreams that feel so real. Each position change follows an ancient protocol your body has never forgotten. Assess the current state. Signal when change is needed. Adjust just enough to restore comfort. Then settle back into restorative stillness. It's like a boat adjusting its position at anchor, responding to changing currents while remaining safely moored. And perhaps this is where the deepest mystery reveals itself. Gravity, that constant companion pulling us toward the earth, becomes our ally in sleep rather than our burden. When we lie on our sides, it helps keep airways clear, drawing the tongue and soft tissues away from breathing passages. When properly supported on our backs, it allows the spine to maintain its natural curves while distributing weight evenly. Even when we rest on our stomachs, though this presents its own challenges, gravity works to pull airways open in ways that can reduce snoring. You're breathing right now. Notice how it deepens as you relax. This is the same intelligence at work, the same conversation between your body and the forces around it that has guided human sleep for hundreds of thousands of years. As we near the end of this first part of our journey together, let yourself feel the weight of this inheritance. Every night, as you settle into whatever position calls to you, you participate in humanity's longest-running ritual. You join the cave dwellers, arranging their grass beds with careful hands. The Japanese practitioners, folding their futons in meditative silence, the hammock sleepers swaying gently in forest breezes. Your body carries within it the accumulated wisdom of countless generations of sleepers. Every position you naturally assume has been tested and refined across millennia of human experience. As sleep takes you into its gentle embrace, remember that you are never alone in this vulnerable act of rest. You're part of an unbroken chain of humanity that has found comfort, safety, and restoration in the simple act of lying down to sleep. But this is only the beginning of our understanding. Next, we'll journey inward to explore the quiet architecture of your own sleeping body. We'll discover how your spine whispers its needs in the darkness, how your muscles release their daily tensions, and how the subtle genius of your anatomy guides you toward the rest your body craves. Now, as the story of human sleep deepens, we turn our gentle attention inward, to the quiet architecture of your own resting body. Each night, as consciousness begins its slow retreat, something remarkable happens. Your physical form becomes both temple and guardian, orchestrating a symphony of restoration that speaks to millions of years of evolutionary wisdom. Feel, for a moment, the weight of your head against the pillow. Notice how your spine naturally seeks its curves, how your breathing finds its rhythm without conscious thought. These aren't random occurrences. They are the opening notes of an ancient song, the body's nightly conversation with gravity, with comfort, with the delicate art of staying safe while completely letting go. Your spine, that magnificent column of bone and cartilage, carries within itself a story older than memory. Like a river finding its natural path through the landscape, it holds three gentle curves: the inward arch of your neck, the outward sweep of your upper back, and the deep hollow of your lower back. These curves weren't accidents of design. They were crafted through eons of standing upright, walking under open skies, carrying the weight of consciousness itself. But here's what makes sleep so remarkable. Even as your body lies horizontal, these curves continue their quiet dialogue with the earth beneath you. When you rest on your back, your spine maintains its gentle S shape, like a bridge suspended gracefully between 2 points. When you turn to your side, it straightens into a horizontal line, drawing itself taut, like a bowstring, ready for the night's restorative work. This isn't mere mechanics. This is your body's instinctive knowledge of how to cradle itself in comfort, how to honor both structure and surrender. The cervical vertebrae, those delicate bones that support your head, require such tender care. Like a graceful swan finding its rest, your neck maintains its curve through the gentle support of pillow and mattress, neither forced upward into an awkward arch, nor allowed to droop toward the earth. And beneath this quiet architecture, something equally wondrous unfolds. As your body settles into sleep, the pathways of breath, those tunnels of life that sustain you, begin their own subtle transformation. Your tongue, that versatile muscle so active during waking hours, relaxes and may drift slightly backward. The soft tissues of your throat, no longer held taut by conscious vigilance, soften and yield. In this softening lies both vulnerability and ancient wisdom. When you lie on your back, gravity draws these relaxed tissues gently downward, sometimes narrowing the channels where breath flows like a slow river, finding its course. This is why your body, in its inherited intelligence, often guides you towards side sleeping, a position that keeps these pathways more open, allowing breath to flow like a gentle stream rather than struggle through narrowed passages. Isn't it remarkable that your body knows this? That even in unconsciousness it continues to negotiate with the basic forces of existence: gravity, breath, the need for rest, balanced against the need for air. Deeper still, beneath the skin you'll never see in darkness, flows another kind of wisdom. An intricate network of vessels carries the river of your life, your blood, through every tissue and organ. During sleep, this circulation must adapt to stillness, working against gravity's constant pull without the help of movement and muscle contraction that aid flow during your waking hours. Your body weight distributes itself across the mattress, and in this distribution, pressure and support dance their nightly ballet. When you rest on your back, the weight spreads evenly, reducing pressure points while maintaining your spine's natural curves. Yet sometimes this position can gently compress major vessels, and your body knows this too. It responds with subtle shifts, a turn of the hip, a slight bend of the knee, redirecting pressure and maintaining that vital flow of nourishment to every cell. Side sleeping offers its own circulatory wisdom, though it concentrates pressure on the shoulder and hip of your lower side. Like a skilled architect who understands load and balance, Your body has evolved tiny movements to prevent this pressure from disrupting circulation, shifting just enough to maintain flow while preserving the overall restful posture. But the most extraordinary transformation happens to your muscles as sleep deepens through its mysterious stages. During the lighter phases of rest, your muscles gradually release their daytime vigilance, like flowers slowly closing their petals as dusk approaches. Tension held in shoulders from the day's work begins to dissolve. The small muscles that kept you upright, alert, responsive, finally receive permission to truly rest. Yet it's during REM sleep, that mysterious phase when dreams paint their vivid landscapes across your consciousness, that the most profound muscular change occurs. Your brain sends signals that essentially pause your voluntary muscles, preventing you from acting out the adventures unfolding in your sleeping mind. In this state of gentle paralysis, your body becomes a peaceful vessel, held safely in whatever position it assumed before this deep phase began. This temporary stillness isn't weakness, it's protection. It's your unconscious mind recognizing that the body needs to remain safely at rest while the mind travels through dreams. And when this phase passes, mobility returns as gently as it departed, ready for the next cycle of sleep's restorative work. But here's a secret that might surprise you. Far from lying motionless through the night, your body engages in an elaborate, graceful dance. Between 10 and 40 times each night, you shift and turn in what researchers call the body's protective choreography. These aren't restless disturbances. They're purposeful movements, whispered conversations between your unconscious mind and your body's built-in wisdom. Each shift serves a gentle purpose, relieving pressure, adjusting temperature, maintaining circulation, responding to comfort's subtle calls. Like a caring gardener who turns plants toward the light, your body continuously adjusts to ensure no area remains too long under pressure or strain. This is ancient knowledge at work, a protective system more sophisticated than any device humans have engineered, requiring no conscious oversight, no maintenance beyond trust. Woven throughout your sleep are also brief moments of near wakefulness, lasting only seconds and rarely reaching conscious awareness. These micro-arousals serve as your night watchman's rounds, checking that all remains well. Your unconscious mind lifts just enough to assess your body's state, perhaps adjusting position, regulating temperature, or shifting breathing patterns before settling back into deeper rest. Rather than disrupting sleep, these tiny awakenings serve as essential maintenance breaks, like a computer quietly performing background tasks to keep everything running smoothly. They represent that exquisite balance between rest and vigilance that has kept our species safe through countless vulnerable nights across the long arc of human time. And perhaps most remarkable of all is your body's innate pressure relief system. When you lie in one position too long, sensors in your skin and deeper tissues detect building pressure and decreased circulation. Long before any damage could occur, these sensors whisper to your brain, which responds by orchestrating a shift in position. This system operates with such precision that healthy individuals never develop the pressure sores that can afflict those whose movement is restricted by illness or injury. It's a testament to your body's caring intelligence, a protection system that has evolved over millennia to keep you safe during the most vulnerable hours of each day. Each position change follows this ancient protocol: assess, signal, adjust, and settle back into rest, like a boat gently adjusting its position at anchor to ride changing currents safely through the night. But the story of how we sleep isn't the same. throughout our lives. Position preference evolves with us, carrying its own quiet wisdom through each season of existence. In the very beginning, our relationship with sleep position is guided purely by instinct and safety. Newborns, those fresh arrivals from the curved sanctuary of the womb, naturally tend toward positions that echo their earliest environment, limbs drawn close, bodies curved in protective embraces. Yet modern knowledge guides us to place infants on their backs during sleep, where airways remain clearest and the risk of breathing difficulties stays minimal. The back-to-sleep understanding has saved countless lives by working with, rather than against, the infant's natural breathing patterns. In this supine position, airways remain unobstructed, and the reflexes that govern breathing can function without interference. It's a beautiful example of how scientific understanding can enhance, rather than override, the body's inherent wisdom. As children grow and their bodies stretch toward adult proportions, their sleep positions begin to diversify, like flowers opening to different aspects of sunlight. The active bodies of childhood, exhausted from days filled with discovery, play, and the endless work of growing, often settle into side sleeping positions that allow for optimal comfort while supporting their rapid development. Children's sleep runs deeper and more restorative than adult rest, and their movements during the night tend toward the dramatic. They may begin the evening in one position and wake completely turned around, their bodies having searched throughout the darkness for positions that best support their continuous transformation. Like young trees bending and adjusting to find the best light, children's bodies instinctively seek positions that nurture their unfolding. Adult sleep positions become something more complex, a convergence of personal preference, life experience, and physical need. Some adults remain loyal to childhood preferences, while others discover new ways of resting as life shapes their bodies and circumstances. Pregnancy brings its own sleeping wisdom, as the changing body adapts to accommodate new life. Many women discover side sleeping for the first time during pregnancy, guided by comfort and the body's instinctive protection of developing life. Work, stress, relationships, even emotional states can influence sleep positions, as bodies unconsciously seek arrangements that provide not just physical comfort, but emotional sanctuary as well. The way we sleep becomes part of our personal signature, as unique as the lines of our palms. And as we age, something beautiful happens to our relationship with rest. The wisdom of years often brings a preference for side sleeping, as this position tends to keep airways more open and places gentler demands on the cardiovascular system. The body, having lived through decades of nights, learns which positions offer the most comfort for joints that carry the memories of a lifetime, which angles best support breathing that has sustained decades of experience. Arthritis may close off some positions that were once comfortable, but the experienced body adapts with grace, finding new configurations that provide relief. The elder's sleep often becomes lighter, punctuated by more frequent position changes, but this too represents wisdom, the body's recognition that vigilance and gentle adjustment may now be necessary for optimal rest. In this late season of life, sleep positions become highly refined through years of unconscious experimentation. Each person discovers their own optimal arrangement, the precise angle of pillows, the perfect firmness of support, the exact positioning of limbs that allows for the deepest, most restorative rest possible. It's as if decades of sleeping have been a long apprenticeship in the art of rest. As we prepare to journey deeper into the specific ways humans find their nightly peace, Let these truths settle gently into your awareness. Your body carries within it not just your own experience, but the accumulated wisdom of countless generations. Each night, without conscious thought, it will adjust and readjust, maintaining that delicate balance between rest and vigilance, comfort and safety. In surrendering to sleep, you trust in this ancient wisdom, your body's knowledge of how to tend itself through the vulnerable hours of darkness, emerging renewed with each dawn. Your spine will seek its curves, your circulation will adapt to stillness, your breathing will find its rhythm, and your muscles will release their daily tensions into the gentle embrace of rest. This is your inheritance, the quiet intelligence that has guided sleepers for millennia, the same wisdom that will carry you safely through tonight's rest and all the nights to come. Your spine seeks its curves, your circulation adapts to stillness, your breathing finds its rhythm, and your muscles release their daily tensions into the gentle embrace of rest. Now, understanding this foundation of how all bodies rest, we can explore the particular landscapes of sleep that call to different souls. And we begin with perhaps the most vulnerable and courageous of all positions, the choice to rest, face up, toward the infinite night sky, arms and legs gently extended like stars themselves, in that ancient position of openness and surrender. Now, we rest like the stars themselves, arms gently extended, face turned toward the infinite darkness above, surrendering completely to the cosmic embrace of sleep. This is the world of the back sleeper, where the body becomes an open vessel for the night's quiet magic. Imagine, if you will, lowering yourself onto your back in this very moment. Feel your shoulder blades settling against the surface beneath you, your arms finding their natural resting place at your sides. There's something profound happening here, a moment of perfect bilateral harmony that few other positions can offer. Your left and right sides mirror each other in gentle equilibrium, like the balanced wings of a bird finally coming to rest. In this position, your chest rises and falls in an unobstructed rhythm, the ribcage expanding like a cathedral's dome with each breath you take. There is an openness here, a vulnerability that speaks to something deeper than comfort. It speaks to trust. Trust in the safety of your space, trust in the darkness that surrounds you, trust in the ancient wisdom of complete surrender. Perhaps you've felt it too, the strange courage of sleeping face up to the world. Unlike the protective curl of side sleeping or the fortress-like positioning of stomach rest, supine sleep is a declaration of openness. Your arms rest naturally, perhaps folded gently across your abdomen, creating what yogis have long called the pose of conscious rest. The sensation is remarkably similar to floating on still water, where every muscle can release its daytime vigilance. Gravity works not against you, but through you, drawing tension downward and away from your body, leaving behind only the essential architecture of bone and breath. Some describe it as melting into the earth itself, becoming one with the stable foundation that holds you through the long hours of night. But there's something even more remarkable happening beneath the surface of this peaceful surrender. Your spine, that magnificent column of bone and cartilage, is finding its most natural expression of grace. Like a river finding its meandering path through a landscape, your spine carries within it 3 gentle curves: the inward arch of the neck, the outward sweep of the upper back, and the deep hollow of the lower back. These curves, formed through eons of upright living, continue their quiet dialogue with gravity, even as you lie horizontal. Recent research has confirmed what the body intuitively knows, that the supine position supports spinal alignment in ways that can actually reduce lower back pain. When properly supported, your spine maintains its natural curves in horizontal repose, much like a perfectly crafted suspension bridge that distributes weight with mathematical precision. The vertebrae stack like ancient coins, each one resting gently upon the next, with the spaces between them free to rehydrate and repair themselves during the night's restoration. Yet this gift extends far beyond your spine. Back sleeping offers something unique to your body's joints, an even distribution of pressure that prevents the compression points common to other positions. Unlike side sleeping, which concentrates weight on one shoulder and hip, supine rest spreads your body weight across a broader surface area, like snow falling evenly across a peaceful landscape. Your shoulders, freed from the weight of your torso, can settle naturally into their sockets. Your hips remain level, preventing the misalignment that can occur when lying on your side without adequate support. Even your jaw finds relief, as there is no pillow pressing against your cheek, allowing that important joint to rest in its most neutral position. And here's something that might surprise you. Sleep researchers have discovered that supine sleeping is the least likely to lead to facial wrinkles. When you sleep face up, your cheek never presses against rough pillowcases or gets folded into temporary creases that, over decades, can become permanent lines. Your face remains uncompressed, allowing the skin's natural repair processes to work unhindered throughout the night. The neck, too, finds particular sanctuary in back sleeping. When properly pillowed, the cervical spine maintains its gentle forward curve, neither hyperextended by inadequate support, nor forced into uncomfortable flexion by pillows too high. Your head rests in what anatomists call the neutral position, balanced perfectly atop the spinal column like a sphere resting in a gentle hollow. But this openness, beautiful as it is, carries its own delicate challenges. Challenges that whisper of the complex relationship between comfort and physiology. You see, when we lie on our backs, something subtle happens to the pathways through which we breathe. The tongue, that versatile muscle that serves us so well during waking hours, relaxes and may drift backward. The soft tissues of the throat, no longer held taut by the vigilance of consciousness, soften and yield. In this softening lies both the beauty of surrender and a gentle vulnerability. Gravity, that same force that helps align our spine, can also draw these relaxed tissues downward, sometimes narrowing the airways like a river flowing through a canyon. This is why some back sleepers find themselves visited by the rumbling symphony of snoring, as these soft tissues flutter and vibrate with each breath. For those who struggle with sleep apnea, the supine position can make breathing during sleep more challenging, as the tongue and soft palate may obstruct the airway more readily than in other positions. And there's another gentle consideration for those who wrestle with the fire of acid reflux. The flat position of back sleeping can allow stomach contents to travel upward more easily than when sleeping on your side, potentially disrupting what should be restorative hours with burning discomfort. This is particularly noticeable for those who enjoy evening meals, as the digestive process continues even as consciousness fades into rest. But here's where the ancient art of sleeping becomes truly fascinating, because these challenges aren't insurmountable barriers, but rather invitations to sleep with greater wisdom and intention. The secret often lies in understanding your pillow as more than just a soft place to rest your head, but as a crucial partner in spinal alignment. The ideal pillow for back sleeping cradles your head while supporting your neck's gentle arch. Not so high that it pushes your head forward into an uncomfortable chin-to-chest position, nor so flat that your head drops back, hyperextending the cervical spine. Memory foam, contoured cervical pillows, or even a carefully folded towel can provide this targeted support, allowing the small muscles of your neck to release completely into the night's embrace. Many back sleepers discover profound relief by placing a pillow or bolster beneath their knees, creating a gentle flexion in the hip joints that takes tension off the lower back muscles. This small adjustment can transform supine sleep from merely comfortable to deeply restorative. Your legs rest like bridges over gentle hills, supported and secure, while your lower back settles into its most natural alignment. The open chest position of back sleeping also creates an ideal opportunity for practicing the kind of deep, diaphragmatic breathing that activates your body's natural rest response. As you settle onto your back, imagine drawing breath not just into your lungs, but into every cell of your being. With each exhale, feel yourself sinking deeper into the mattress, releasing the day's accumulations of stress and tension. Some back sleepers find that certain breathing techniques can help keep their airways optimally open throughout the night. The 4-7-8 breathing pattern, breathing in for 4 counts, holding for 7, and exhaling for 8, not only helps induce deeper relaxation, but may also strengthen the muscles that support clear breathing during sleep. The foundation beneath you matters too, of course. Back sleepers often thrive on medium-firm mattresses that provide the optimal balance of support and comfort. Too soft, and the heavier parts of your body may sink too deeply, creating curves where straight lines should be. Too firm, and pressure points may develop where your body's natural contours don't quite match the surface's unyielding embrace. Throughout history, there have been those who understood the profound nature of supine rest. In the ancient practice of yoga, savasana, the corpse pose, represents the culmination of practice, the moment of complete surrender that allows integration and restoration. Practitioners lie flat on their backs, arms slightly away from the body, palms facing upward in a gesture of complete receiving. This position, identical to optimal supine sleep, is considered one of the most challenging poses to master, not because of physical difficulty, but because of the profound letting go it requires. NASA's research into optimal positioning for astronauts has revealed something remarkable about our body's preferences. In space, where up and down lose their meaning, the human body naturally assumes what scientists call the neutral body posture, a gentle recline with arms floating slightly away from the body, legs bent at comfortable angles, and the spine curved in its natural shape. This neutral position, strikingly similar to well-supported supine sleep, represents our body's instinctive choice when freed from gravity's constant pull. Renaissance masters understood this too. Their paintings show figures at rest, with faces turned toward heaven, suggesting the connection between physical repose and something larger than ourselves. The great reclining sculptures of Michelangelo capture bodies in states of perfect rest, their supine forms conveying both vulnerability and strength, surrender and dignity. Even the philosopher René Descartes, who conceived some of his most profound insights while lying in bed, understood that the horizontal position could free the mind from the body's constant negotiations with gravity and posture. Some accounts suggest he spent many morning hours in supine rest, thinking and writing, using the position's openness to invite new ideas and deeper contemplation. But perhaps most beautifully of all, choosing to sleep on your back connects you to something cosmic and eternal. Like a bridge between heaven and earth, you rest in perfect balance, open to the night's healing energy while grounded in the safety of your bed. Each night of back sleeping becomes a practice in trust, surrender, and the ancient art of allowing yourself to be completely held. There's something both courageous and serene about this choice. This decision to sleep face up toward the world, presenting your most vulnerable areas to the darkness with complete trust. Your heart center remains uncompressed, your throat unobstructed. Many find that back sleeping promotes not just physical openness, but emotional spaciousness, a feeling that extends beyond the boundaries of the body into something larger and more peaceful. As you consider your own relationship with supine rest, remember that this position asks something beautiful of you. The willingness to practice ultimate vulnerability each night, to trust completely in the safety of your environment, to surrender control and allow the night to work its restorative magic without resistance. Some nights, this surrender comes easily, and you drift into back sleeping as naturally as leaves settling on still water. Other nights, your body might call for different kinds of comfort and protection, and that's perfectly natural, perfectly wise. The beauty of understanding sleep positions isn't in rigid adherence to any single way of resting, but in developing a compassionate awareness of what your body needs in each moment. If you find yourself drawn to back sleeping, honor that calling. Create the supportive environment your spine craves. Breathe deeply into the openness it provides, and allow yourself to feel held by the earth beneath you and the vast space above. If back sleeping feels uncomfortable or creates challenges with breathing or digestion, listen to that wisdom too, knowing that other positions await to cradle you into rest. For in the end, the art of sleeping is not about finding the perfect position, but about cultivating the perfect relationship with rest itself, one of trust, wisdom, and deep attunement to the body's changing needs. Tonight, whether you rest like the stars in open surrender or find your peace in other gentle configurations, know that back sleeping offers its own sacred invitation to trust, vulnerability, and healing rest. But many who begin the night on their backs find their bodies naturally seeking a different kind of sanctuary. Like a crescent moon cradling the darkness, we now turn to discover sleep's most beloved embrace, the gentle art of resting on our side. Here, where vulnerability meets protection, where openness transforms into the wisdom of the curve, lies a story as ancient as the first humans who turned toward the earth for warmth and safety. Feel for a moment that familiar pull toward your side. Perhaps it happens without thought, that subtle shift of weight, the drawing up of knees, the folding of arms close to your chest. There's something deeply comforting about this movement, isn't there? A return to a shape your body remembers from long before you drew your first breath. This is the realm of the side sleeper, where comfort takes the form of gentle curves and protective hollows. When you settle onto your side tonight, you join the vast majority of sleepers across our world, that quiet fellowship of those who find their deepest rest in the safety of the curl, in the wisdom of the fold, in the ancient grace of turning inward. The sensation begins with contact, your shoulder meeting the surface, your hip settling into gentle support, your knees finding each other in a tender reunion. As you arrange yourself in this familiar architecture of rest, something profound awakens in your nervous system. The body recognizes this position, welcomes it like an old friend returning home after a long journey. Perhaps you too have felt the small comfort of curling toward your heartbeat, creating with your own limbs a sanctuary where the vulnerable parts of yourself can rest safely. The curve of your spine in lateral repose follows the same gentle S-shape it held when you were small, when the world was vast and sleep was the sweetest refuge from its mysteries. There's a particular psychology to side sleeping that whispers of deep intelligence. When we curl onto our side, we instinctively protect our core while keeping our back, our defensive wall, facing the world. This unconscious positioning allows the nervous system to release into deeper relaxation, knowing that our most vital organs remain shielded beneath the shelter of our own careful arrangement. Anthropological evidence reveals this preference stretching back through human history like a golden thread. Cave paintings and ancient burial sites suggest our ancestors naturally adopted these lateral postures, their bodies understanding what modern research now confirms, that sleeping on one side offers not just comfort, but optimal health benefits that serve us through the long hours of restoration. The numbers tell their own gentle story. Research indicates that approximately 60 to 70% of the global population naturally gravitates towards side sleeping, making it the most universally embraced sleep posture our species knows. This preference appears to be innate rather than learned, suggesting that our bodies carry within them an inherent wisdom about the art of rest. But here's where the story becomes even more intriguing, because not all sides are created equal. The human body, despite its apparent symmetry, harbors a landscape of organs, each with their own needs and rhythms. The choice between left and right side sleeping becomes a gentle dance with anatomy, each position offering its own particular gifts. When we rest on our left side, something remarkable occurs within the geography of our torso. The stomach sits lower than the esophagus, allowing gravity to keep gastric acids where they belong, rather than traveling upward to create the burning discomfort of reflux. For those who wrestle with nighttime heartburn, this simple turn to the left can transform sleep from a battlefield into a peaceful sanctuary. The lymphatic system, that sophisticated network responsible for clearing waste from our bodies, may also find favor in left side sleeping. The thoracic duct, which drains lymphatic fluid back into circulation, flows more efficiently when we rest on our left side, potentially enhancing the body's natural detoxification processes that occur during the quiet hours of night. And for those carrying new life within them, left side sleeping becomes more than comfort. It becomes a lifeline. This position increases the flow of blood and nutrients to the placenta and developing child, while promoting healthy circulation that helps reduce swelling and supports the tremendous work of creation happening within. Yet the right side offers its own refuge. Medical research using sensitive heart monitoring has found that when people sleep on their right side, little change occurs in heart activity, with the organ held in a stable, comfortable position. For some individuals with certain heart conditions, this rightward turn may provide the gentler option, the path of least resistance for a heart that requires tender care. But here's the truth that emerges from careful study. There's no single optimal sleeping side for everyone. Left side sleeping might offer particular benefits for acid reflux or pregnancy, but for most of us, the priority remains comfort, spinal support, and the quality of rest itself. The body's wisdom often knows better than rigid rules what serves our individual needs. The benefits of side sleeping unfold like petals opening to morning light. When we rest on our sides, gravity becomes our ally in maintaining open airways. The tongue and soft tissues of the throat fall away from the airway rather than backward into it, reducing the likelihood of the vibrations that create snoring. The result is often quieter, more peaceful nights for both the sleeper and anyone sharing their bed. For those who battle sleep apnea, that condition where breathing stops and starts throughout the night, side sleeping can be transformative. The lateral position helps keep airways clear and unobstructed, allowing breath to flow like a gentle stream rather than struggle through narrowed passages. Many sleep physicians recommend side sleeping as a first-line intervention for mild sleep-related breathing difficulties. Recent research has unveiled perhaps the most remarkable benefit of side sleeping, one hidden within the very architecture of the brain itself. Studies reveal that the lateral position during sleep offers clear advantages for what scientists call glymphatic transport, the brain's sophisticated waste-clearing system that works most efficiently while we rest. Like a gentle tide, washing the shores of consciousness clean, this nightly purification removes metabolic waste products, potentially protecting against cognitive decline and supporting brain health throughout our lives. The research is striking in its implications. Studies using animal models show that the side sleeping position allows for more effective clearing of waste products like amyloid beta, those protein fragments associated with Alzheimer's disease, from brain tissue. While we're still learning about these processes in humans, the findings suggest that our natural preference for side sleeping may represent ancient wisdom about protecting our most precious organ. Yet even the most natural postures carry their own gentle challenges, and side sleeping whispers its own quiet requests for attention and care. The shoulder bearing our body's weight throughout the night sometimes voices its complaints by morning. Compression of delicate tissues, pressure on nerves, and gradual development of stiffness can emerge when the sleeping surface fails to accommodate the shoulder's needs. Our faces, too, tell the story of countless nights spent pressed against pillows. Over time, this gentle pressure can create what dermatologists call sleep lines, permanent creases that map the landscape of our preferred rest positions. While these lines speak of many peaceful nights, they remind us that even our most cherished positions leave their gentle marks upon us. The hip joint, carrying the weight of the torso through the dark hours, may also experience its own form of fatigue, particularly on surfaces that don't yield appropriately to the body's natural curves. This weight concentration can lead to morning stiffness, and over time, contribute to discomfort that echoes into our waking hours. And then there's the mystery of the sleeping arm, that limb that sometimes disappears into numbness, awakening us with the peculiar sensation of pins and needles cascading through fingers and hands. This temporary nerve compression, while harmless, serves as the body's gentle reminder to position ourselves with greater awareness and care. But here's where the art of sleeping becomes truly beautiful, because these challenges aren't obstacles to overcome, but invitations to sleep with greater wisdom and intention. The path to optimal side sleeping lies not in abandoning this natural position, but in creating the supportive environment that allows it to flourish. The pillow beneath your head becomes far more than a soft landing place. It becomes the crucial bridge that maintains your neck's natural curve. For side sleepers, this pillow must fill the gap between your head and shoulder without lifting your head too high or allowing it to sink too low. The ideal pillow cradles your head while supporting your neck's gentle arch, allowing those small, hard-working muscles to release completely into the night's embrace. Many side sleepers discover transformative comfort in placing a pillow between their knees, a simple addition that maintains hip alignment and reduces pressure on the lower spine. This creates a bridge of support that prevents the top leg from rotating forward and pulling the spine out of its natural alignment. The result is often a profound sense of comfort that extends from the hips all the way up to the neck. The surface beneath you matters too, of course. Side sleepers often benefit from mattresses that yield at the shoulders and hips while supporting the waist, a delicate balance that honors the body's natural curves while maintaining the structural support necessary for spinal health. Medium firm surfaces frequently provide this balance, offering enough give to accommodate the body's prominent areas while keeping the spine properly aligned. Some discover relief in gentle evening stretches that prepare the body for optimal side sleeping. Chest opening movements counteract the day's forward posture, while shoulder releases and gentle spinal twists prepare these areas for the night's lateral positioning. Even a few minutes of mindful movement can transform the transition into sleep, from mere collapse into conscious preparation for restoration. Throughout human history, side sleeping has woven itself through cultures like a universal thread of comfort. In traditional Japanese culture, sleeping on thin futons placed directly on tatami mats naturally encourages side positioning. The firm surface supports the body's natural curves, while the minimalist approach honors both simplicity and physiological wisdom. Middle Eastern and African traditions often show families resting on woven mats spread across floors, arrangements that frequently favor side sleeping positions. These patterns reveal how lateral rest serves not only individual comfort, but also social bonding, allowing people to face toward or away from companions as privacy and connection require. Ancient burial practices across diverse cultures often position the deceased on their sides, suggesting that this posture represents not just rest, but the deepest form of peace our ancestors could imagine. From medieval European tombs to Native American interments, the curved repose of side sleeping appears again and again as humanity's preferred position for eternal rest. Even in literature and art, side sleeping emerges as the natural pose of peaceful slumber. Renaissance painters depicted sleeping figures curled in gentle crescents, while writers across centuries have used the image of side sleeping to convey everything from innocence to deep contentment. There's something universally recognizable about this position, something that speaks to our shared human understanding of comfort and safety. What emerges from this global tapestry is recognition that side sleeping transcends cultural boundaries and historical periods. Whether on soft beds or firm floors, in cold climates or warm, surrounded by family or sleeping alone, humans consistently return to the curved embrace of lateral rest. This universality suggests that in choosing to sleep on our sides, we align ourselves with something essential and enduring in human nature. The attachment to side sleeping often runs deeper than mere physical comfort. Many describe their relationship with lateral rest in terms that venture into emotional territory. The sense of being held, the feeling of creating a protective shell around themselves, the comfort of folding inward like a flower closing its petals at dusk. Some trace their preference back to childhood memories of feeling safe and protected while curled beneath blankets. Others discover side sleeping during periods of stress or transition, finding in the fetal-like position a return to the earliest safety they knew. The position offers what no other sleeping posture can quite replicate, a sense of self-containment, of being both vulnerable and protected simultaneously. For many, side sleeping becomes a nightly ritual of return, to safety, to comfort, to the body's most instinctive understanding of rest. The act of curling onto one side creates not just physical positioning, but emotional sanctuary, a place where the day's accumulated stresses can be held gently while the night works its restorative magic. As you contemplate your own relationship with side sleeping, remember that this position represents more than mere comfort. It connects you to the vast community of sleepers who, across time and space, have found peace in the simple act of turning toward their side and drawing their knees toward their heart. Each night is spent in lateral repose is both deeply personal and universally shared, a reminder that in our most vulnerable moments, we often find our greatest wisdom. Tonight, as you settle into whatever position calls to your body, know that side sleeping offers its arms to hold you, if that's where comfort lies. Feel the gentle support of pillow between your knees, the soft cradling of your head and neck, the natural alignment that allows every part of you to rest deeply and well. Some nights, the curve of side sleeping will embrace you immediately. Other nights, your body might seek different configurations of rest and peace. Trust in that wisdom, in the body's ability to know what it needs for restoration and healing. But some sleepers seek a deeper anchoring, a more profound connection with the earth beneath them, face pressed toward the surface, finding in prone position a comfort that defies conventional wisdom. This stomach sleeping tale, with its own complex gifts and challenges, awaits us just beyond this gentle turn. There exists a particular surrender known only to those who sleep face down, a quiet, anchoring to the earth that speaks of something deeper than comfort. Like a stone settling into still water, the body presses into the mattress with a weight that feels both grounding and profound. This is the realm of the stomach sleeper, where rest takes the form of gentle pressure, and the night's embrace comes from below rather than above. Imagine, if you will, that moment of settling face down into your bed. Feel your chest meeting the surface beneath you, your abdomen sinking slightly into the welcoming softness. Your arms find their familiar positions, perhaps tucked beneath a pillow, perhaps spread like wings against the sheets. There's something primordial at work here, an instinct as old as the first humans who pressed themselves against the earth for warmth and safety. In this moment of contact, something remarkable occurs. The sensation many stomach sleepers describe as being anchored begins to unfold. Unlike the floating quality of back sleep or the curved embrace of side sleep, prone position offers something distinctly different. The feeling of being pressed into existence, held down by the gentle but insistent hand of gravity itself. This weight carries with it a unique psychological comfort. For many prone sleepers, the pressure against the torso creates a sensation reminiscent of being swaddled or gently embraced. The mattress becomes not just a surface, but a silent partner in rest, pushing back against the body with equal and opposite force. This reciprocal pressure can feel like being held by the earth itself, a return to some fundamental connection with the solid world beneath us. The face-down position also offers a particular kind of sanctuary that few other sleep positions can provide. With the vulnerable front of the body protected by the mattress and only the back exposed to the room, There's an unconscious sense of shielding that many find deeply comforting. The world cannot see the expression on a prone sleeper's face. Emotions remain private, protected by the pillow and the darkness. This anonymity in sleep can feel profoundly restorative for those who spend their waking hours exposed to the constant gaze and expectations of others. Some prone sleepers describe the sensation as floating face down in warm, perfectly still water, completely supported, weightless yet weighted, breathing steadily while the body rests in perfect horizontal suspension. This aquatic metaphor captures something essential about stomach sleeping: the paradox of feeling both heavy and light, both pressed down and lifted up by the very forces that hold you. But this embrace of the earth carries secrets we'll soon uncover, complexities that dance between immediate comfort and the body's longer conversation with alignment and ease. Perhaps you too have felt that grounding comfort, even as your body whispers of hidden strain. The allure of stomach sleeping often lies in its immediate gifts. For some, prone position helps prevent the flutter of tissues that create snoring, as gravity pulls the tongue and soft tissues forward, rather than allowing them to collapse backward into the airway. This can create quieter, more peaceful nights for both the sleeper and their bed partner, a small but meaningful blessing in the shared space of rest. Many stomach sleepers report that they fall asleep more easily in this position, finding that the pressure against their torso has a calming, almost sedative effect. The sensation of being pressed into the mattress can trigger a relaxation response, particularly in those who carry stress or tension in their chest and shoulders. For these individuals, prone sleeping becomes a nightly ritual of release, a way of literally laying their burdens down upon the surface that holds them. There's also something deeply satisfying about the full body contact that stomach sleeping provides. Every inch of the front torso makes connection with the sleeping surface, creating a sense of complete support that other positions cannot replicate. This contact can feel protective, nurturing, as if the bed itself is reaching up to embrace and hold the sleeper through the vulnerable hours of night. Yet beneath this immediate comfort lies a more intricate physiological reality that unfolds like a gentle mystery through the night. While prone sleeping offers these immediate rewards, the position asks something significant of the body's architecture, something that becomes more apparent as the hours of darkness progress. The challenge begins with the neck, that delicate column that must somehow accommodate the need to breathe while the face is turned toward the mattress. To draw breath while lying face down, the head must rotate significantly, often 45 to 90 degrees to one side. Imagine holding your head turned sharply while standing. After even a few minutes, the cervical spine would begin to voice its quiet protests. Now extend this position for 6 to 8 hours, and the accumulated stress begins to tell its story in the morning's stiffness and discomfort. The spine itself narrates another tale of challenge and adaptation. In prone position, the natural curve of the lower back becomes exaggerated, creating what movement specialists call hyperextension. Picture a bridge arching too steeply. The structure may hold, but stress concentrates at the highest point. Similarly, the lower back in prone sleep often bears concentrated pressure, particularly at the junction where the lumbar spine meets the pelvis. Research has shown that stomach sleeping can be responsible for a significant percentage of neck pain cases linked to sleep positions. Yet this knowledge doesn't diminish the profound comfort that many find in this position. The body's relationship with prone sleep becomes a complex negotiation between immediate psychological comfort and the longer-term whispers of physical strain. When the chest presses against the mattress throughout the night, something subtle but significant occurs with breathing itself. The ribcage's natural ability to expand becomes gently restricted, and the diaphragm, that great dome of muscle responsible for drawing air deep into the lungs, must work against both gravity and the resistance of the sleeping surface. This doesn't create dangerous limitations, but it can lead to shallower breathing patterns that may leave some prone sleepers feeling less refreshed upon waking. The weight of the torso pressing down also creates pressure points at the ribs, sternum, and pelvis. Over time, this concentrated pressure can temporarily restrict blood flow to certain areas, leading to the tingling or numbness that some stomach sleepers experience in their arms or legs as morning approaches. The arms, in particular, often bear unusual burdens in prone sleep. Tucked under pillows or beneath the body, they may experience compression that temporarily impedes the free flow of circulation. But here's where the story of stomach sleeping becomes truly fascinating. Because these challenges aren't insurmountable obstacles, but rather invitations to sleep with greater awareness and gentle adaptation. The art of prone sleeping with greater comfort often begins with reconsidering the pillow's role entirely. Traditional pillows, designed to support the head and neck in upright-inspired positions, can become obstacles for stomach sleepers. A thick pillow forces the neck into even more extreme rotation, while standard pillow height pushes the cervical spine into uncomfortable extension that echoes through morning stiffness. The solution lies in what many discover as radical simplicity: the thinnest possible pillow, or sometimes no pillow at all. Some stomach sleepers find profound relief by placing a very thin, soft cushion, or even just a folded towel, under their forehead. This allows the face to rest comfortably while keeping the cervical spine in a more neutral position. The nose and mouth remain free for easy breathing, while the neck experiences significantly less rotational stress throughout the night. One of the most transformative adjustments for prone sleepers involves placing a thin pillow or folded blanket under the hips and lower abdomen. This simple addition helps restore some of the spine's natural curves, reducing the hyperextension that typically occurs in the lower back during stomach sleep. The pelvis lifts slightly, allowing the lumbar spine to settle into a more neutral position that honors both comfort and alignment. This hip pillow should be relatively flat, just enough to provide gentle elevation without creating a new pressure point. Many prone sleepers discover that a folded bath towel provides exactly the right amount of lift, conforming to their body shape, while offering consistent support that lasts through the night's subtle movements and shifts. For those who find themselves committed to stomach sleeping despite its challenges, morning rituals become particularly important. Gentle stretches that address the night's accumulated patterns can help the body transition more gracefully into the day's activities. Spinal extension stretches, such as lying on the back and drawing the knees gently toward the chest, can help counteract the night's hyperextension. Neck stretches that move the head through its full range of motion help restore balance after hours of rotation in one direction. Chest opening stretches, performed by clasping the hands behind the back and gently lifting, can address the shortened position that chest muscles adopt during prone sleep. These movements need not be elaborate or time-consuming. Even 5 minutes of gentle attention can help the body recalibrate from the night's positioning to the day's varied demands. The foundation beneath prone sleepers also deserves thoughtful consideration. Stomach sleepers often benefit from slightly firmer mattresses than those who rest on their sides or backs. A surface that's too soft allows the body to sink in ways that can exaggerate the spine's curves, while properly supportive surfaces help maintain better alignment throughout the night. However, the mattress shouldn't be so firm as to create uncomfortable pressure points at the ribs or pelvis, a balance that requires attention to individual needs and preferences. The stories that stomach sleepers tell about their relationship with prone rest often venture into deeply personal territory. Many describe their position preference in terms that go beyond physical comfort into emotional and psychological attachment. There's Maria, who describes her relationship with stomach sleeping as non-negotiable. Despite experiencing morning neck stiffness and gentle medical suggestions to try other positions. Despite trying various alternatives, she finds herself unable to fall asleep in any other posture, as if her body possesses knowledge that transcends rational understanding. This persistence appears commonly among prone sleepers. Unlike other sleep positions that people might switch between depending on comfort or circumstance, stomach sleeping often becomes an almost immutable habit. Some sleep researchers theorize that this adherence suggests prone sleeping fulfills a particularly deep-seated need for security or pressure-based comfort that other positions simply cannot replicate. Many adult stomach sleepers trace their preference back to childhood memories, specific recollections of feeling safe and hidden beneath blankets, face pressed into pillows that carried the familiar sense of home and security. These early associations with protection and comfort can create lasting neural pathways that continue to influence sleep preferences decades later. Cultural and family patterns also weave through stomach sleeping stories. Children who grow up sharing beds with prone sleeping parents or siblings sometimes adopt the position through unconscious mimicry, creating household rhythms where face-down rest becomes the natural approach to sleep. In some families, prone sleeping becomes almost a shared language. Entire households that naturally settle face-down each night, understanding intuitively the particular comfort this position provides. The rituals that develop around stomach sleeping often become elaborate comfort ceremonies. These might include specific pillow arrangements that have been refined over years, particular blanket weights that provide just the right amount of additional pressure, or even requirements for certain textures against the skin. One woman describes her nightly routine with careful precision: a particular pillow folded just so, a weighted blanket positioned to cover completely but not overwhelm, and a sequence of settling movements that must occur in exact order for sleep to feel possible. These rituals suggest that prone sleeping, for many, extends far beyond simple physical positioning. It becomes a complete sensory environment that signals safety, comfort, and permission to release into sleep. The position offers a unique form of full-body contact comfort that creates both physical and emotional sanctuary. Some individuals discover stomach sleeping not in childhood, but during periods of adult stress, illness, or life transition. The additional pressure and sense of protection that prone sleeping provides may offer psychological comfort during challenging times, becoming a temporary refuge that eventually transforms into permanent preference. The position can feel like hiding from difficulty, while simultaneously being held through it, a complex emotional and physical response to life's uncertainties. For those called to stomach sleeping, the path forward need not involve complete abandonment of this cherished position. Instead, it can involve a gentle dance of adjustment and awareness, small changes that honor both the deep need for prone rest and the body's requirement for sustainable alignment. In this balance, stomach sleepers may find not just better physical comfort, but a deeper understanding of their own unique relationship with rest and restoration. The wisdom lies not in fighting the body's profound preferences, but in learning to support them more skillfully. Each night of stomach sleeping, approached with awareness and gentle adaptation, becomes an opportunity to practice both self-acceptance and self-care, honoring what the body seeks while tending to what it needs for long-term well-being. As you settle into whatever position calls to your body tonight, remember that stomach sleeping, like all sleep positions, represents one path among many toward the restoration that night offers. Whether you rest face down in the earth's embrace or find your peace in other gentle configurations, trust in the body's deep wisdom about comfort and safety, while remaining open to the small adjustments that can make any position more sustainable and nurturing. Tonight, whether you rest in the grounded embrace of prone sleep or find your peace in other configurations, remember that stomach sleeping, like all positions, represents one path among many toward restoration. Each night offers the opportunity to listen to your body's changing needs while honoring what brings you deepest comfort. But here, in the mysterious country between waking and dreams, not all sleepers can be contained by simple categories of back, side, or stomach. Many drift between worlds like gentle nomads of the night, half back, half side, sometimes prone, then shifting, forming shapes the darkness itself seems to invent, creating their own fluid choreography of rest. In the quiet hours when sleep takes hold, something beautiful unfolds, a gentle choreography that defies the simple categories of back, side, and stomach. These are the restless dancers of the night, the combination sleepers who drift through positions like leaves turning on water, following currents we can barely see. Perhaps you've woken to find yourself in a shape you never chose, your body's quiet improvisation, an arm stretched toward a dream you can't remember, legs arranged in patterns that seem to belong to someone else entirely. This is the realm beyond the big three, where sleep becomes not a fixed posture, but a fluid conversation between comfort and need, between the conscious mind's preferences and the body's deeper wisdom. Here, in this twilight country between the familiar positions, we discover sleepers who refuse to be contained by simple descriptions. They are the combination sleepers, the position shifters, the nightly wanderers who treat their bed like a vast landscape to be explored rather than a single destination to be claimed. Modern sleep research reveals something remarkable about these nighttime nomads. The average sleeper changes position between 3 and 36 times throughout the night, with most people settling into a pattern of 10 to 12 major shifts as the hours unfold. But combination sleepers, those restless spirits who cycle through multiple positions regularly, often exceed these averages, their bodies conducting a more complex symphony of movement and adjustment. This restlessness isn't random, though it might seem so to the waking mind. Each shift serves a purpose in the body's overnight maintenance routine, like a careful gardener tending to different sections of a sleeping garden. The movements help circulation flow freely, preventing blood from pooling in any single area. They redistribute pressure, allowing compressed tissues to recover and breathe. They regulate temperature, exposing different body surfaces to the cool air when warmth builds too intensely in one position. Perhaps most beautifully, these movements help the spine settle and realign, allowing vertebrae to find new relationships with each other throughout the night. The body possesses an ancient intelligence about pressure and relief, about when to hold steady and when to dance away from discomfort towards something more nurturing. Young adults are the night's most active choreographers, their growing bodies demanding frequent repositioning as they navigate the complex work of development and recovery. Studies show that younger sleepers average more than 4 position changes per hour, while older adults settle into calmer patterns of movement, shifting only about 2 times each hour. This gradual settling may reflect both physical changes and the nervous system's evolving relationship with rest as we age. Children and adolescents display what researchers playfully call freestyle sleeping. Unpredictable patterns that might include diagonal positions across the bed, limbs draped over edges in gravity-defying arrangements, or creative combinations that would challenge even the most flexible yoga practitioner. As we mature, sleep positions tend toward conservation and efficiency, favoring stability over adventurous experimentation. But what do these nightly shapes reveal about the mind beneath the blankets? The question draws us into territory where science meets folklore, where careful observation mingles with the human desire to find meaning in our most vulnerable hours. Sleep researchers have created a charming taxonomy of positions, each with its own whimsical name and supposed personality connections. These named postures offer us a playful language for the body's nocturnal artistry, though the science behind their character associations remains more poetry than proof. Consider the starfish, that figure floating serenely with arms and legs spread wide in complete abandonment to rest. Picture someone lying with hands up over their head, legs outstretched, claiming their territory with bold confidence. Popular psychology suggests these sleepers tend toward open, social personalities, though the evidence for such connections remains thin as morning mist. What we know with greater certainty is that this position offers excellent spinal alignment and can reduce pressure on internal organs, particularly benefiting those who wrestle with acid reflux during the night. The starfish sleeper requires generous bed real estate, their sprawling form a declaration of comfort and security. Partners of starfish sleepers often develop impressive adaptive skills, learning to curl around the edges of the bed like devoted satellites orbiting a peaceful star. Yet like other forms of back sleeping, the starfish position can sometimes encourage snoring, as the open airway configuration allows throat tissues to relax completely. Then there's the soldier, lying at attention even in slumber, flat on the back with arms straight down at the sides and legs aligned like a formal salute to the night. There's something almost ceremonial about this pose, a disciplined approach to sleep that suggests order even in unconsciousness. Some interpret this position as reflecting structured, reserved personalities, though such connections venture into speculation rather than scientific territory. The soldier position shares the spinal benefits of other back-sleeping configurations while potentially creating its own breathing challenges. The formal positioning can sometimes restrict the natural expansion of the chest, and like other supine postures, it may encourage the throat tissues to relax in ways that promote snoring. More intriguing, perhaps, is the Yearner, side sleeping with arms stretched forward, as if the sleeper is perpetually reaching towards something just beyond their grasp. About 13% of people favor this position, creating with their extended limbs a gesture that suggests both vulnerability and hope. The pose captures something eternally human, the act of reaching toward dreams, toward love, toward tomorrow's possibilities, even in the depths of unconscious rest. The Yearner position shares many benefits with standard side sleeping: improved breathing, reduced snoring, better digestion, while the extended arms may help some sleepers feel more secure and grounded. The forward reach can create a sense of active engagement with sleep rather than passive surrender to it. The family of named positions extends into an entire menagerie of nocturnal poses. There's the fetus, curled on one side in a protective ball, the most common sleep position worldwide. The log, side sleeping with arms straight down, suggesting either remarkable spinal alignment or perhaps unusual rigidity. The free fall, stomach sleeping with arms wrapped around the pillow, as if embracing the earth itself in desperate affection. Each of these positions tells its own small story about comfort, protection, openness, and the endless creativity of the human form in seeking rest. Yet the appealing notion that our sleeping selves reveal hidden truths about our waking personalities remains largely in the realm of entertaining speculation rather than established science. Very little rigorous research exists connecting sleep positions to character traits, and the studies that do exist find only tenuous correlations at best. What these positions do reveal more reliably is the remarkable diversity of human comfort preferences and the deeply individual nature of restorative rest. Rather than windows into our souls, sleep positions might be better understood as expressions of our body's unique needs, past experiences, current stresses, and the endless creativity of flesh and bone in seeking comfort through the vulnerable hours of night. But here's where the story deepens and grows more mysterious, because sleep positions exist in constant conversation with forces both external and internal, responding to invisible currents that flow through our environment and emotions. Temperature acts as a master conductor for the nightly symphony of position changes. In summer's humid embrace, bodies naturally expand into starfish or loose-side positions, seeking maximum surface area for heat dissipation. Arms and legs stretch away from the torso, creating cooling channels where air can circulate freely. The body instinctively knows to minimize contact between limbs, reducing the buildup of warmth that can disturb deep sleep. Winter brings the opposite response, a gravitational pull toward fetal positions and close embraces with blankets and pillows. Knees draw up, arms fold close, bodies creating their own microclimates of retained warmth. Even couples who sleep separately during hot months may find themselves unconsciously migrating closer during cold seasons, their sleeping positions responding to meteorological cues older than consciousness. Humidity plays its own subtle role in this dance. On muggy nights, sleepers often unconsciously adopt positions that minimize skin-to-skin contact, while dry conditions allow for more compact, cozy arrangements. The body reads these environmental signals continuously, adjusting position and posture to maintain optimal comfort without conscious oversight. Emotional weather creates its own patterns of postural response. High-stress periods often correlate with increased fetal positioning, the body's instinctive return to its first position of safety and protection. Arms wrap more tightly around the torso, knees draw higher, and sleepers create unconscious fortresses of flesh against uncertainty and anxiety. Research suggests that chronic stress can lock sleepers into repetitive, defensive positions that may actually reinforce tension patterns rather than relieving them. The body language of worried sleep includes closed limbs, protective posturing, and rigid adherence to positions that prioritize psychological safety over physical optimization. Conversely, Periods of contentment and security often see sleepers adopting more open, expansive positions. The body language of peaceful sleep includes relaxed limbs, willingness to sleep with vulnerable areas exposed, and greater variety in positioning throughout the night. Arms and legs rest without defensive tension, and sleepers demonstrate comfort with changing positions as their bodies naturally seek different forms of support and relief. Life transitions create their own temporary shifts in sleep positioning. Pregnancy brings its gradual migration towards side sleeping as the body adapts to accommodate new life. Injury or surgery may force exploration of previously unfamiliar positions that sometimes become permanent preferences long after healing is complete. Even positive stress, job promotions, new relationships, awaiting good news, can temporarily disrupt established position patterns as the nervous system processes change through movement and adjustment. Grief and loss frequently manifest as increased curling and protective positioning, while new love might shift someone toward more open, trusting sleep positions. The body holds our emotional experiences in its tissues, and these feelings express themselves through the subtle choreography of nighttime positioning. There's also the intriguing question of how sleep positions might relate to the landscapes of our dreams. While research remains limited, some studies suggest correlations between body posture and dream content. Side sleepers may experience more vivid, emotionally complex dreams, while back sleepers sometimes report more controlled or lucid dream experiences. The Yearner position, with its forward-reaching arms, might reflect the brain's processing of goals and aspirations during REM cycles. These connections venture into speculative territory, but they highlight the intricate relationships between physical positioning, neural activity, and the mysterious work that consciousness performs while we rest. Perhaps our sleeping positions become not just responses to physical comfort needs, but expressions of deeper psychological states, the body's way of creating optimal conditions for whatever healing, processing, or restoration the night requires. Combination sleepers, those restless artists of the night, seem to understand intuitively that no single position can serve all of sleep's complex purposes. They move between configurations like skilled dancers, sampling different forms of support and comfort as their bodies' needs shift through the night's various stages. Some combination sleepers begin each night in the same familiar position, their launching pad into sleep, before allowing their bodies to drift into whatever shapes the night seems to call for. Others display no clear pattern, their sleep looking more like improvisation than choreography, responding moment by moment to sensations and needs that exist below the threshold of conscious awareness. These nightly wanderers often report feeling more rested upon waking, perhaps because their bodies have been able to address multiple comfort and circulation needs, rather than maintaining static positions for hours at a time. Their sleep becomes a fluid negotiation between different forms of support, pressure relief, and postural variety. Yet combination sleeping isn't without its own gentle challenges. The frequent position changes can sometimes create brief micro-awakenings that fragment sleep, and partners may find themselves disturbed by the increased movement. Some combination sleepers report feeling less settled, as if their sleep lacks the deep anchoring that comes from sustained positioning. The key for combination sleepers often lies not in restricting their natural movement patterns, but in creating sleep environments that support easy transitions. This might mean selecting mattresses and pillows that perform well across multiple positions, ensuring adequate space for movement, and maintaining comfortable room temperatures that don't force excessive position seeking for thermal regulation. As we drift deeper into understanding these various forms of nightly rest, we begin to see that sleep positioning represents far more than arbitrary physical arrangements. Each shift, each held posture, each unconscious adjustment reflects the ongoing conversation between our body's needs and our environment's offerings, between our psychological states and our physical comfort requirements. The starfish stretchers and yearning reachers, the log rollers and freestyle dancers, all participate in the ancient human ritual of vulnerable trust, allowing their bodies to find whatever configurations best serve restoration and healing. In this nightly improvisation, we see reflected the beautiful diversity of human comfort needs and the remarkable intelligence that guides us toward rest, even when conscious thought has dissolved into dreams. Tonight, as you settle into whatever position calls to your body, remember that there are no perfect poses, only the endless creativity of flesh and spirit seeking comfort, support, and restoration. Your body carries its own wisdom about what it needs for healing, and that wisdom expresses itself through the gentle art of positioning and repositioning. But how do we learn to hear this wisdom more clearly? How do we develop the sensitivity to understand what our bodies are truly asking for in their quiet language of sensation and comfort? The final part of our journey together leads us into the most intimate territory of all, learning to listen to your own body's voice. In the quiet moments before sleep claims you, your body begins a gentle conversation, one that has been whispered through countless nights, waiting for you to listen. Tonight, we learn the art of hearing these tender signals, of understanding what your muscles and bones are trying to tell you about rest, about comfort, about the delicate dance between intention and surrender. Close your eyes and take a slow breath. Feel the weight of your body settling into this moment. Notice how even now, without conscious thought, you're making tiny adjustments. A shift of the shoulder, a gentle turn of the head, the unconscious wisdom of comfort seeking its own expression. This is where our journey begins, in the quiet intelligence that flows through your resting form. Your body speaks in the language of sensation, gentle whispers that carry profound wisdom if we know how to listen. Pain is never punishment. It's simply your body's way of pointing toward what needs attention, like a caring friend, gently guiding you toward greater harmony. When your neck feels tight upon waking, it's not a complaint but an invitation, perhaps asking for a pillow that cradles your cervical spine's natural curve, or suggesting that your current position has been forcing those delicate vertebrae into shapes they weren't meant to hold through the night. The shoulder that aches by morning tells its own story. Side sleepers often discover this tender message, the joint compressed through hours of darkness, bearing weight it wasn't designed to carry for such long stretches. But listen closer. Your body isn't demanding that you abandon side sleeping entirely. It might simply be asking for softer surfaces, for the kind of mattress that yields where your shoulder meets it, creating space for rest rather than resistance. Hip discomfort, whispers of alignment, of the pelvis seeking its natural position in the landscape of sleep. When your lower back feels tight and twisted as consciousness returns, it's sharing information about curves that need support, about the gentle S-shape of your spine that wants to maintain its graceful architecture even in horizontal rest. These sensations aren't failures. They're your body's patient attempts at teaching you about comfort. And then there's breath, that constant companion that never stops offering guidance. When you notice snoring, It's your airway gently suggesting that gravity might be working against comfortable respiration in your current position. The labored feeling that sometimes comes with stomach sleeping. The sense of your chest pressed against resistance. These aren't demands for immediate change, but invitations to consider whether your chosen position serves your body's deepest need for oxygen and ease. Perhaps tonight, you'll begin to cultivate what we might call somatic awareness, a gentle scanning of your body's landscape from head to toe, not with judgment or analysis, but with the kind attention you might give to a dear friend sharing something important. Does your left shoulder feel different from your right? Is there a place where tension gathers like a small knot of held breath? Notice without trying to fix. Observe without criticism. This isn't about achieving perfect positioning. It's about developing the sensitivity that allows for responsive, caring adjustment. But what happens when your body seems to be asking for something different? When the position that once brought comfort now whispers of strain? The art of transition requires the patience of a gardener nurturing delicate growth, gentle encouragement, consistent attention, and deep trust in gradual change. Your body responds better to invitation than force, to support than struggle. If you're a stomach sleeper feeling the call to explore other territories of rest, remember that this journey need not be an abandonment of what brings you comfort. Begin where you are. Place a thin pillow beneath your pelvis tonight, just enough to reduce the arch in your lower back, while maintaining the grounding sensation you love. Over time, experiment with the sleeper at a slight angle, using a body pillow to support a partial side position. The goal isn't to eliminate what feels safe, but to discover variations that honor both comfort and care. For those curious about the embrace of side sleeping, support becomes your gentle ally. A pillow between your knees maintains the natural alignment of your hips, preventing the rotation that can strain your lower back through the night. Think of it as creating a soft bridge that keeps your body's architecture graceful even in rest. A body pillow offers both physical support and emotional comfort, something to hold while your spine settles into its most natural curve. And if you're drawn to explore the open surrender of back sleeping, remember that gravity can become your friend. This position allows your body to rest in neutral alignment, but only when properly supported. The pillow beneath your head should cradle your neck's gentle curve, without tilting your chin toward your chest or letting your head drop back into hyperextension. Some find comfort in placing a pillow beneath their knees, creating a gentle bend that takes pressure off the lower back and allows the lumbar curve to settle into perfect ease. These transitions happen in their own time, like seasons changing, gradually, naturally, with periods of exploration and return. Your body knows the difference between force and flow. Trust its wisdom. Some nights you might find yourself drawn back to familiar positions, and this too is perfectly right. Adaptation is not about rigid adherence to new patterns, but about expanding your repertoire of rest, giving your body more options for finding comfort. The foundation beneath you tells its own story of support and comfort. Your mattress is not just a surface, but a partner in rest. And understanding how different materials interact with your chosen position can transform your relationship with sleep itself. Memory foam responds to the warmth of your body like a gentle embrace, slowly conforming to your unique contours, distributing weight evenly, and creating cradles for your hips and shoulders. Side sleepers often find profound relief in this material's ability to yield where pressure would otherwise build. Innerspring mattresses offer immediate responsiveness. When you move, they move with you without delay, providing the kind of support that feels alive and interactive. They breathe naturally, staying cooler through the night, and offer strong edge support that makes the entire sleep surface available for rest. These beds speak to those who prefer sleeping on top of their mattress rather than sinking into it. Latex occupies a beautiful middle ground, providing both contouring and responsiveness, pressure relief without the sensation of being embraced too tightly. Natural latex carries with it the whisper of trees, of organic growth, and tends to maintain its supportive qualities across varying temperatures and through many years of nightly use. The question of firmness isn't about right and wrong, but about dialogue, the conversation between your body's needs and the surface that holds you. Side sleepers typically find comfort in softer territories that allow their curves to nestle into the mattress while maintaining overall spinal alignment. Back sleepers often prefer medium-firm support that honors their spine's natural S-curve without allowing excessive sinking. Stomach sleepers usually need firmer ground beneath them to prevent their hips from creating uncomfortable arches in their lower back. But remember, these are gentle guidelines, not rigid rules. Your body's preferences may surprise you, may evolve with time, may change with the seasons or with life's circumstances. The key is to remain curious, to stay in conversation with your comfort rather than adhering to what should work in theory. Your pillow serves as the tender bridge between your head and the world beneath you, and its height, firmness, and shape can either support your neck's natural curve or ask it to bend in ways that create strain through the night. Side sleepers typically need higher pillows to fill the gap created by their shoulders' width. Back sleepers often find comfort in medium support that cradles the cervical curve without tilting the head forward. Stomach sleepers usually discover relief in thin pillows that minimize the neck extension required by their chosen position. Consider pillow fill as part of this gentle equation. Memory foam offers consistent support that slowly responds to your warmth and pressure. Down provides soft, moldable comfort that can be adjusted by fluffing and shaping. Latex gives responsive support with natural breathability. Each material creates a different relationship with rest, a different sensation of being held and supported through the night. As the evening deepens and your body prepares for its nightly journey into restoration, small rituals can transform the simple act of lying down into a conscious embrace of rest. Your body carries the day's tensions, the hunched shoulders from desk work, the tight hip flexors from prolonged sitting, the accumulated stress that settles into muscle and bone. Gentle movement before sleep becomes not just physical preparation, but a ritual of release. Begin with slow, mindful movements that honor your neck and shoulders. Let your head trace gentle circles, releasing the cervical spine's accumulated tension. Draw your shoulder blades together and hold for a breath before releasing, counteracting the forward rounded posture that many carry from daily activities. These movements don't need to be elaborate or time-consuming. Even a few moments of conscious attention can transform your body's readiness for rest. Gentle, spinal twists, performed while lying on your back with knees drawn softly toward your chest, help release tension along your vertebral column. Allow your knees to fall to one side while keeping your shoulders grounded, creating a gentle spiral through your torso. Hold each twist for several breaths, feeling the spaces between your vertebrae gently opening, preparing your spine for whatever position will cradle you through the night. Your breath offers the most accessible pathway from conscious control to unconscious calm. The simple practice of diaphragmatic breathing, placing one hand on your chest and one on your belly, Breathing in ways that move the lower hand more than the upper activates your body's natural relaxation response. This signals to your nervous system that safety and rest are not only possible, but welcomed. Try the ancient rhythm of 4-7-8 breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, exhale for 8. This pattern, with its emphasis on extended exhalation, tells your body that the day's vigilance can soften into night's surrender. The counting provides gentle focus for your mind, preventing it from wandering into tomorrow's concerns or today's unfinished business. As you settle into your chosen position, whether the curved embrace of side sleeping, the open surrender of resting on your back, or the grounded comfort of stomach sleep, remember that this moment is a practice in trust. You're placing your body in a position of vulnerability, trusting that the darkness will hold you safely until dawn returns. Progressive muscle relaxation can become a gentle bridge into sleep. Beginning at your toes and moving systematically toward your head, consciously tense each muscle group for 5 or 7 seconds before releasing completely. Notice how relaxation feels different from simply not tensing. True release requires its own subtle skill, its own conscious invitation, or try a body scan meditation, moving your attention slowly through your body from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. Simply acknowledge each area with attention, noticing without trying to change anything. If your mind becomes busy, and it will, for that's what minds do, simply return to the gentle rhythm of your breath, silently saying in as you breathe in, out as you breathe out. Consider ending your preparation with a brief reflection on gratitude. 3 things from your day, however small, that deserve acknowledgement. This shifts your mental focus from problems and concerns toward appreciation and contentment. Follow this with a conscious release ritual, mentally setting down the day's worries and challenges, trusting that rest will provide the restoration needed to meet tomorrow's opportunities with fresh energy. The consistency of these rituals matters more than their complexity. Your nervous system learns to anticipate sleep through familiar patterns, and the same sequence of gentle activities, performed at roughly the same time each night, becomes a powerful signal that sleep is approaching. This isn't about rigid scheduling, but about creating reliable transitions that help your body and mind shift gears from day to night. Your bedroom itself becomes part of this ritual. The adjustment of temperature, the arrangement of pillows, perhaps the lighting of a candle that will be extinguished before sleep. These physical actions symbolize the transition from day's activity to night's rest, creating an environment that supports not just your chosen sleep position, but the deeper surrender that allows true restoration. Tonight, as you listen to your body's quiet wisdom, remember that optimal sleep isn't about achieving perfect positions, but about developing a loving, attentive relationship with your own needs. Each night offers an opportunity to listen more deeply, adjust more skillfully, and rest more completely. Your body holds ancient wisdom about comfort and rest. These practices simply help you hear its guidance more clearly. Perhaps you'll discover that your preferred position serves you perfectly as it is. Or maybe you'll find that small adjustments transform good sleep into profound rest. Either way, you're engaging in the beautiful practice of self-care, of paying attention to the vehicle that carries you through life with such quiet dedication. And as you drift toward sleep tonight, tuning into the subtle conversation between your body and the surface that holds you, you might find yourself wondering, Does the way you rest reveal something deeper about who you are? Do your chosen positions carry meanings that go beyond mere comfort? That quiet mystery awaits us in our next gentle exploration, where we'll discover how the language of sleep speaks not just to our bodies, but to our dreams, our personalities, and the rich cultural tapestry of human rest. For now, though, simply let your body find its own wise way of settling. Tomorrow's discoveries can wait. Tonight, trust in the conversation between comfort and care, between intention and surrender, between the conscious choice of position and the unconscious wisdom of sleep itself. And now, as our journey through the landscapes of sleep draws toward its gentle close, we arrive at perhaps the most enchanting territory of all. The sacred language your sleeping body speaks each night. The quiet poetry written in curves and angles that may whisper something deeper about who you are when the world isn't watching. There's something almost magical about the idea that the way you curl up in darkness might reveal hidden truths about your soul. Sleep researchers have spent decades studying this possibility, creating charming maps that connect the geography of rest to the mysteries of personality. The fetal sleeper, they suggest, might carry a tender heart beneath a protective shell. The starfish, arms and legs spread wide in complete surrender, perhaps belongs to someone who meets the world with generous openness, claiming space with quiet confidence. Those who sleep like soldiers, flat on their backs with arms at attention, might approach life with similar structure and discipline, even in their most vulnerable hours. The log sleepers, straight and steady on their sides, could be the reliable souls who move through life with consistent grace. And the yearners, reaching forward into tomorrow's dreams, might be the thoughtful ones who stretch toward possibilities with careful hope. But here's where the story becomes more beautiful than any study could capture. The scientific evidence for these connections remains as gentle and elusive as sleep itself. The research is inconclusive, the correlations delicate as morning mist. What we know for certain is smaller and more profound, that your body remembers what your mind forgets, carrying into sleep the echoes of how you've learned to be safe, to feel held, to trust the darkness. Perhaps the fetal curl speaks not of shyness, but of ancient wisdom, the body's memory of the first sanctuary it ever knew. Maybe the starfish position reveals not dominance, but deep trust, the willingness to sleep as vulnerable as a star scattered across the velvet sky. These postures might be less about fixed personality and more about the fluid poetry of need, comfort, and the endless creativity your body employs in its nightly search for peace. The stories become richer still when we consider how your sleeping position might dance with the landscapes of your dreams. During those mysterious hours when your mind paints vivid stories across the canvas of sleep, your body continues its conversation with comfort and constraint, creating conditions that may influence the very texture of your nocturnal journeys. Research whispers of connections between how you lie and how you dream. Back sleepers sometimes find their dreams touched by shadows, perhaps because the open airways that serve them well during waking hours can become compromised in horizontal rest, fragmenting sleep in ways that invite unsettling visions. The reduced oxygen flow creates subtle disturbances that can color the transition between deep sleep and the vivid theater of REM, where nightmares prefer to take their stage. Side sleepers, cradled in the body's most natural curve, often report richer dream recall, their memories intact as they surface from sleep's depths. The left side seems particularly blessed, optimal heart function creating the steady rhythm that supports the kind of restorative rest where dreams can unfold without disruption, where the stories your sleeping mind tells remain crisp and whole upon waking. Those brave souls who sleep face down in the earth's embrace inhabit perhaps the most curious dream territory. The gentle pressure of their chosen position, the subtle work their bodies must do to breathe through the night, creates a unique sleep architecture. Some report that this cocoon-like compression deepens their dream narratives, while others find their nocturnal visions fragmented by the body's quiet efforts to find easier rest. The connection between posture and dreams remains one of sleep's beautiful mysteries. Like trying to capture moonlight in cupped hands, we sense the relationship without fully understanding its mechanics. What we do know is that every position creates its own conditions for the night's restorative work, its own stage for the dreams that help us process, heal, and prepare for tomorrow's possibilities. But the language of sleep positions speaks in dialects far older than modern research. Across cultures and centuries, humans have seen in their resting forms reflections of something sacred, eternal, and profoundly meaningful. In Buddhist tradition, the lion's pose, lying on the right side with hand supporting the head, mirrors the Buddha's final rest, the gentle transition into parinirvana. This position symbolizes conscious surrender, the maintenance of awareness even in the deepest letting go. Many meditation traditions encourage this posture for its balance of relaxation and gentle alertness, seeing in it a bridge between conscious rest and peaceful transcendence. Islamic guidance suggests sleeping on the right side as both physically beneficial and spiritually aligned, a way of honoring the body's needs while maintaining orientation toward the sacred. Ancient Egyptian and Chinese traditions placed profound importance on directional rest, heads facing east to greet the rising sun's life force, or positioned according to feng shui principles that honor the flow of energy through both body and dwelling space. Literature has always understood that how a character sleeps reveals everything about their inner landscape. The tightly curled figures in novels often embody protection against a hostile world, while those who sleep with arms flung wide suggest either deep trust or beautiful recklessness. Classical art fills galleries with reclining forms, from Michelangelo's sculpted sleepers to Renaissance odalisques, where every curve and angle speaks volumes about power, vulnerability, and humanity's relationship with rest. The mythology of every culture includes sleeping figures, gods who rest to dream new worlds into being, heroes who must sleep to receive prophetic visions, mortals whose sleep becomes either sanctuary or perilous trap. In Japanese aesthetics, the concept of wabi-sabi extends even to sleep, finding beauty in the imperfect unconscious positions we naturally assume, seeing grace in our nightly abandonment of control. Perhaps most universally, sleeping postures carry the gentle weight of mortality's mystery. Sleep has always been called death's sister, both states asking us to let go, to trust forces beyond our conscious command. Burial positions across cultures often mirror preferred sleeping postures, suggesting that how we rest in life influences how we imagine resting beyond it. This parallel isn't morbid but profound, speaking to sleep as practice for the ultimate surrender, a nightly rehearsal for peace with our deepest vulnerability. Yet as our exploration draws to its quiet close, perhaps what matters isn't whether science can definitively link your sleeping position to your personality or dreams. Perhaps what matters is simpler and more beautiful, that in the gentle ritual of settling into sleep, you engage each night with fundamental questions of trust, comfort, and letting go. Every evening, without conscious thought, you choose a position that speaks a quiet language, one of protection and openness, reaching and withdrawal, the endless negotiations between safety and surrender. These unconscious choices become a poetry that transcends measurement, a nightly performance of who you are when you think no one is watching, not even yourself. The starfish stretchers and fetal curlers, the log sleepers and yearning reachers, all participate in the same ancient human ritual of vulnerable trust. Each night, you place your body in whatever position feels most like home, most like safety, most like the shape your soul needs to rest deeply and well. And here, as the night deepens around us and our long journey through the landscapes of sleep reaches its gentle destination, remember this: there is no perfect position waiting to be discovered, no ideal arrangement of limbs and spine that will unlock the secret to flawless rest. There is only tonight, only this moment, only your body's quiet wisdom guiding you toward whatever shape will cradle you most tenderly through the dark hours ahead. Feel yourself settling now, deeper into whatever position has called to you. Notice how your body makes its small adjustments without conscious direction. A shift of the shoulder, a gentle turn of the head, the unconscious choreography of comfort finding its expression. This is your inheritance, this ability to rest, this gift of surrender that has been passed down through countless generations of sleepers. Your breath is growing deeper now, slower, following rhythms older than memory. With each exhale, feel yourself releasing not just the air from your lungs, but the day's accumulations of effort and concern. Let them dissolve into the darkness like sugar stirred into warm water, sweetening the night that holds you. The room around you has grown so quiet now, filled only with the gentle sound of your breathing, and perhaps the distant whisper of night wind in trees, or the soft rhythm that sounds almost like ocean waves against a far shore, almost like a heartbeat, slow and steady, almost like the earth itself, breathing in the darkness. Your body knows what it needs tonight. Trust in that wisdom, in the conversation between your flesh and the surface that holds you, in the ancient intelligence that has guided sleepers safely through countless nights across the long arc of human time. Let yourself sink deeper into whatever position feels most like sanctuary, most like peace, most like the promise that morning will come gently, bringing with it the gift of another day, renewed. Sleep well, fellow traveler. The story of rest continues each night, written in the quiet language of bodies finding comfort, souls finding peace, and dreams finding their way home through the gentle darkness that cradles us all. Rest now, deeper, softer, carried safely through the night by the same stars that have watched over sleepers since the beginning of time, drifting, floating, held.